So we get a lot of fungal diseases now because we still have a lot of moisture in the air. Temperatures are still cool. So that's what promotes a lot of fungus. And fungal diseases can cause discoloration, distortion, and premature leaf drop. Again, a lot of fungal diseases, if they're kept under control, they really just cause some like leaf drop and maybe slow the growth of the plant. They rarely kill the whole plant, although that's not true for everything, but the most common ones, if we're monitoring it, we can keep it under control. So fungal diseases like black spot and rust, and most others actually, like cooler to moderate temperatures, they like moisture, and they spread via splashing water. So the water will carry their spores. But it is important to note that actually powdery mildew is the one fungal disease that's a little different. It actually likes dry conditions and slightly warmer, like moderate temperatures, and it likes shade. So this is something to consider when we're dealing with one or the other or both. So for fungal disease solutions, the best thing to do would be when you are planting is to ask for or look for disease-resistant varieties, because certain plants that are prone to fungal diseases have developed disease-resistant varieties, especially roses are a big one as well, a big one for that. Water early in the day. We should be watering early in the morning anyway when the air is cooler, but if you have a fungal problem on any plant, maybe water mid-morning. This will allow the plant to really dry out before nightfall and before the temperatures get cool again. We're going to put mulch around our plants this will reduce splashing. So if you're overhead watering or you're watering like by hand, mulch will prevent like the splash back into the plant. Pruning is really important for a few reasons. Pruning out any diseased leaves or branches or flowers will be really important. And then pruning to increase airflow and light to the plant will decrease the chance of fungal diseases. If you do have fungal issues, it would be wise to consider drip irrigation or just watering the soil only. So even if you're watering with a watering can, really focus that water just on the soil, again, around the drip line of the plant, not at the crown, but just on the soil. We're not overhead watering because this will reduce the amount of water on our plant. And we're removing any diseased foliage as soon as we see it. So just prune it out and don't put it in your compost pile, put it in the garbage. And then, as I said, powdery mildew actually likes dry conditions. So unfortunately, it makes it a little confusing. For powdery mildew, you actually do want to use overhead watering on your plant, but that could potentially increase other fungal diseases. So you kind of have to balance it in your head. If you have powdery mildew though, and you can very carefully just wash off the leaves that have it. Either wipe them with like a moist towel or sponge, or just very carefully, I guess it's called syringing, but you would just like very carefully apply water to those leaves. And then again, do this mid-morning so it allows your plant to dry out before the temperatures go down again to reduce other fungal diseases. And you could there are several products out there. You're going to want to use a fungicide. Make sure you're going to use a fungicide because those kill fungus. You're not using an insecticide on your fungus. It's not going to help. So a copper soap or copper fungicide, neem oil, sulfur. Also, this would be considered a biological control, is actually using this bacteria that specifically acts as a fungicide. I can't say it, but there is products that have the bacteria. That Monterey disease control spray that you can see on the bottom that uses that bacteria, which will only target fungus. And then also consider dormant sprays. So again, if you have powdery mildew now already or peach leaf curl, there's a great way to manage those in the spring is to apply dormant sprays in the dormant season.